mention is called Rejuvenate. It's our topical cream, and it's for your skin. From head to toe, you put it in your hair, you massage it into your scalp, and it's for anything that disturbs your skin. That could be a scratch, a scrape, a cut, a bump, a mole, a blemish, anything. Listen, we've got testimonials in the back office about the impact it's had on serious varicose veins, on stretch marks, on cellulite, even the wrinkles on your face. And it works like it does because it doesn't just sit on the skin. It soaks through the skin, soaks down to the bone, impacts your ligaments, your tendons, your muscles, and your joints. And speaking of joints, that's joints in your back, in your knees, or in your hands. And if you've got a condition in your hands or your feet, or someone you know does, that can start as tingling and become incredibly severe, you're going to find that Rejuvenate becomes your go-to product for everything I just mentioned and more. Listen to the testimonials. They're astounding. Next, I want to talk about Restore 3.0. It's our first third-generation product. And Dr. Bevan has created something truly incredible using a base of two ancient superfoods, olive oil with olive leaf and black seed. They've both been used for thousands of years because of the benefits they provide to the human condition. They mention olive oil in the Bible. They found black seed when they opened King Tut's tomb. But Dr. Bevan uses several elements of each in a unique way with olive oil. He uses several elements to tune up and detoxify your cells while increasing your mitochondria. Now that's unique to us. That's the secret. That's our name. MoreMito. Mito is short for mitochondria. More mitochondria. Dr. Bevan discovered that when you can increase the mitochondria back to an age when you were young, listen, you've been losing it all your life. Roger just told you you're lucky to have 50% of it when you're in your 60s. That could drop as low as 10% in your 70s or older. And mitochondria is the energy that runs your body. Dr. Bevan discovered when you can increase mitochondria back to the age when you were young, guess what? Your body starts to work the way it's supposed to, the way it was meant to, the way it did before life and the environment started tearing your body down. And he uses black seed to increase your energy, but it's cellular energy. It's steady. It's strong. There's no jitters. It's not like you hit a caffeine or sugar where you get a big high followed by a deep crash. Cellular energy is steady. Imagine being able to start and complete a task without a need to sit and rest. Or how about the disappearance of your brain fog? Or something strenuous like a long bike ride that has a short recovery time. What cellular energy means is you can now live life again to its fullest on your terms without a need to sit on the couch and rest and watch it all pass you by. And I've only mentioned 2 of the 44 ingredients Dr. Bevan has used to create Restore. And they're all properly blended. Look, that's critically important. Dr. Bevan will tell you if you take a handful of vitamins, you'd be lucky if a third aren't a complete waste, overpowered, canceled by other things in that handful of vitamins. Everything needs to be in the proper proportion. Look, it takes 8 weeks to make a bottle of Restore. You just don't dump some stuff in a pot, pour it in a bottle, and call it good. That's not what this is. And it has a huge impact being properly blended, but then also the most critical aspect of all, XDS, to let your body use Restore like nothing it's ever used before. Next, I want to talk about our newest product. It's called Renew, Brain and Body. Some of the ingredients you need to increase your mitochondria can't be delivered in a liquid base. They have to be delivered dry so your body can utilize them. He created small capsules with these additional ingredients. Renew stands on the shoulders of Rejuvenate and Restore to increase your mitochondria. It has a huge impact on the body and on blood flow, but especially in the brain. It helps with blood flow, the firing of the synapses, the disappearance of brain fog has a huge, huge impact. Finally, some of the most important members in our family are the pets that we own. We love them. Look, the most viewed videos on social media are pet videos. And yet our pets can suffer, and it breaks our hearts when we see a dog that's become lethargic, or worse yet, seems he can't even walk up and down the stairs. If we've got a cat that's shedding, has on the lawn to make it grow. They're even allergic to the same things in the environment that we are, and they suffer, and we can see it. If you want to impact your dog's health in a major positive way, then you give them Petlife, increase their mitochondria. Look, you want to bring a dog back to puppy stage, a cat back to kitten stage, and see it happen fast. Look, there's no faking it. There's none of this, gee, I think I feel better. You know when your pet is doing good because you can see it. And all our products work that same way to increase your mitochondria. So 4 products: Rejuvenate, Restore 3.0, Renew Brain and Body, and Petlife. There's nothing like what these products can do. To hear more about that, I'm going to turn the call back over to Roger. Roger, take it away.
Thank you, Dale. Our topic once again is how not to die
The MoreMito Pet line.
Cardiovascular issues, circulation problems, cholesterol, and more. We're going to start as usual with Dr. Dan. You know him as a regular on our call out of Oklahoma City. He's been in the decades as we did radio out of Oklahoma City and now doing podcasts. So, Dr. Dan, someone who's concerned about their heart, their cardiovascular system, what is most critical for them to know?
Make sure y'all have your drinks ready and your notepads.
We got him, but he is muted on his end. Dr. Dan's going to have to call back in or unmute. I've got Nick with us.
So while they're getting him, Dr. Dan unmuted,
Okay.
get your notepad so you can take notes because you don't want to miss this, and make sure you get you something to drink.
So, in part, today's call is a little bit of a continuation of the theme we've been doing. Last week we talked about strokes and whatnot, and we touched on kidney failure as well. All these things go back to the 2 primary things that challenge most people's health: blood sugar issues, as in diabetes, blood pressure issues, okay, high blood pressure. Those 2 things set off a negative, what I call a negative cascade. Things start to break down because of that. You got blood sugar roaming around your bloodstream that's not resolved. I mean, you get up in the morning and it should be below 100. When it's above 100, that means you've got extra blood sugar in there damaging things in your body. Well, your heart and your cardiovascular system are vulnerable. So they got to pump the blood that's carrying all that additional blood sugar. Okay? And similarly with high blood pressure, you got high blood pressure, and you have that for even mild high blood pressure. I don't like that term pre-diabetic or pre-hypertensive. You either have it or you don't. Because if you have it even in a mild way long enough, you're predisposing yourself to some really bad consequences like dementia and Alzheimer's, for example. Okay, I've got a very good friend of mine who's experiencing this right now. Okay, long-term high blood pressure, had a hard time not eating candy as an older adult. Okay, now it's got a problem. Okay, so those things damage, and it starts with that inflammation that's set off, and it's really challenging the mechanism that your body has in place to keep you healthy, right? You've got these endothelial cells that call and line all your blood vessels. They're supposed to emit nitric oxide, for example, to tell your blood vessels to relax. Well, if those cells are damaged, the mitochondria is compromised, right? You just can't do that. So now you're predisposed to high blood pressure. And again, that inflammation that's setting off is not good for your heart, to say the least, right? Nor is it good for any of your blood vessels. So even that you've got all that going on, it's no wonder that we have heart disease and cardiovascular issues very high among the mortality. When you look at mortality statistics, okay, that's the reason that most people are not dying of old age. They're dying of diseases, and many of those diseases are being kicked off by those 2 conditions that we've just mentioned. Okay, so let's step into this a little bit. It was still not have Dr. Dan. Try him one more time.
I got him back.
We'll come back to
I got him back. Dan, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I just about used to borrow your time. So give us a little bit. We'll come back to you at the end. Okay.
I may not be here at the end. Let me just say a few things here and let's go. I have to help myself.
Thanksgiving soon. You're going to be wanting to eat the cake and the different things there. There's a lot of things that taste like starch, taste like flour that won't hurt you. You got to become wise about those. And so sugar, starches, and then inflammatory oils. There's a very, very good oils for you, but some of these seed oils that have been hydrogenated. We're talking about soy and corn oil, safflower, sunflower oil, and then cottonseed oil, and peanut oil, and canola oil to a lesser degree. But those are highly inflammatory. Some people say they're worse for us than the sugars are. Those are causing a lot of the damage that we're seeing. And then the lack of the B vitamins, magnesium, potassium, and a whole line of things that help keep the body healthy. Eating more wild-caught Alaskan salmon, sardines, things of that sort that really bring down the inflammation. So I'll keep it short, Roger, but that's what we need to concentrate, is keeping the inflammation down, and then you don't end up with a heart attack or stroke so easily. Heart attacks is a new thing. It wasn't around in 1910, 1905. It's brought about, they believe, from our diet, processed flour, and processed food, and the high levels of sugar that didn't used to exist in the 1800s, 1860s and stuff. It was 10 pounds a year. Now we're talking about 160, probably a lot more than that for a lot of people. They're probably eating 200, 300 pounds, which is almost a pound of sugar a day. Half pound to a pound of sugar. Our body's not designed for that, folks. Okay, give it back to you, Roger. All right. And when we thank you, Dr. Dan. And when we subject ourselves to that, no wonder you end up with, again, the blood pressure issues and the blood sugar issues. Like the one Mark had. Mark was introduced to us by Armadine up in Canada. And she was diabetic and really setting off some negative consequences in her health. So let's listen to the interview I did with her and Armadine, and we'll talk about it a bit after. I've got the pleasure talking to Marva Collier. Marva, please tell me what your health concerns were before you were introduced to us.
Well, I have cervical dystonia. That's where the muscles in the back of the neck, they don't work properly. So it makes my head go left, right, as if I'm saying no, and sometimes it works more so than before. It trembles. It looks like if I'm trembling. I guess that's the way my neck is trying to keep my head steady. So that's what was happening before I started to use the product.
What, if anything, changed after you started using Mito?
Well, I started the Mito product on February 26th, and that first night when I went to bed, it woke me up. Well, I woke up with my heart rate very elevated. So much so that I had to stop the product. I decided I would go see heart specialist just to check to make sure everything was good with my heart. And when I went back to that report, I got a surprise because she told me I now have diabetes, or diabetes, as you would say. So, and at that time, my A1C was 7.1.
Right.
So I decided I wanted to start back the product. So I started back on March 9th. So I started back real small, but it was still elevating my heart rate during the night. But I was so determined that this product will work for me that I just continued with it. On March 12th, I just started with 2 drops of it.
Okay.
I reached up to two whole droppers in the morning from Monday the 31st of March. So currently today's what? Today's April 4th.
Yeah.
I did 2 droppers this morning, and I will do 1.5 in the afternoon. Eventually, I will get up to 2 each time.
Now that's Restore. Are you taking Braided Body as well? Braided Body?
Not as yet.
Okay,
No.
so you're using Rejuvenate and you're using Restore. Okay, so
Yeah.
since you started back, what has changed or what have you discovered?
Well, I got the blood sugar machine, which I started using on March 31st.
Okay.
So on that day, my fasting blood sugar was 98.
Okay.
Then after lunch, it was 114.
Okay.
And after dinner, it was 150 on that
Okay.
day.
And then in the next morning,
The fasting was 100. And after dinner, it was 103.
okay, so just give me the mornings from that point forward.
Oh, okay. Oh, from March 31st morning, 98, 100, 93, 86, 86.
Okay, so you're trending even healthier. You should be
Yeah,
100 or less, and you're all the way down to the 80s now.
yeah,
So it would appear that your blood sugar is improving.
yeah.
Okay. How are you feeling?
I am feeling much better. I am more confident in the product, knowing that the product is working. It hasn't started working yet for the issue that I started with the neck, but I
Okay.
know it will get it back.
You know that it's working because of what you're measuring and also how you are feeling. Can you be more specific about how you're feeling that's different than before? Is it back and forth?
I think I have more energy. I do think I have more energy. I'm able to go long without having to lie down after doing a task. So it has
Okay.
given me more energy, for sure.
Okay, so we're still working on the neck, but
Yeah.
at the same time, you seem to clearly be trending in the right direction with healthier blood sugar, and you got your energy up.
Yeah.
So those would be your indications that your mitochondria is starting to work for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Excellent. Well, thank you for sharing that, Martha. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Okay, so let me explain what our process is here at MoreMito. We don't make any attempt to diagnose, treat, or cure diseases. We feel like we have a higher concept. It is to regrow mitochondria so your body can do a better job of what it already knows how to do. I mean, your body is constantly trying to repair you, restore you, rebuild you. It's always doing that stuff. But as you lose mitochondria as you go through life, you just don't have the ability to keep that up to the level it needs to be at, right? So what you're hearing from Barbara is her beginning the process of regrowing the mitochondria and having her body to respond. And it needs to continue, okay? Now, at the other end of the spectrum, you let this damage go on long enough, and now we're talking about dire health consequences. We're talking about getting strokes and kidney failure and things like that. And that was the case with James Clark. Okay, this was that topic, by the way, last week. You're talking about this kind of thing. We're just, again, approaching it from a different organ standpoint today. So James, who was really, regular guy, could do everything he needed to do, but because of his blood pressure, blood sugar, and his stroke, he was left partially paralyzed, bedridden, and with the worst heart failure we've had reported so far. And let me help you put that in perspective. Every time your heart beats, if it's normal, it should be pumping out between 50 and 70% of the blood that's in it. If it's below 50, you got heart failure. If it's between 20 and 30, they give you 5 years to live. Well, James was at 15. So let's understand what happened with him, and then we'll talk about that. Hey, what was health concerns before you met us?
Well, I had heart failure, and my heart was, they were talking about changing my heart, giving me a new heart.
Okay, what were the measurements? Your heart function was down to what?
My heart function was also as low as 15% operated.
Talk to me about your heart measurement. You were at 15. What happened? How did it stay down there?
Well, right now it is 30 to 35%. You know, I am doing more activities now with it that high. And hopefully it's going up higher because, you know, I've been taking the MoreMito every night when I get up, I get it, and every night when I go to bed. What really inspired me with this, I went to the couple is talking about their heart rate is going from 30% to 65%. And that's what got me interested, really, when I heard about it. I heard that.
Yeah, you want to be in that 50 to 70 range. All right, so you're able to be more active, do more things. What are some of the other things that you're able to do now that you wouldn't do before, would be really strenuous or uncomfortable for you?
Well, actually, before then, I haven't driven my car in about 3.5 years. I was driven. I haven't been behind the steering wheel.
Why was that?
That was because of a stroke that I had, and not including the 4 seizures I had in one day.
Okay. And what caused that? What was your underlying condition?
My heart condition and having the stroke, and then I got compromised with COVID. I had COVID with pneumonia, and plus I had the seizures. I had 4 of them in one day.
So there was no blood pressure or blood sugar issues, any of that preceding all that heart trauma?
Yeah, I had high blood pressure for like 20, 21, 22 years.
Okay. All right. And that's what led to all the other conditions. That
Correct.
Thanks again, James.
Okay.
Now see that high blood pressure leads to a
Over
lot.
20 years.
You need to get on the product ASAP to get rid of that high blood pressure.
But your body can rebuild. It can come
That
back.
mitochondria built up.
It just has to have that mitochondrial energy in order to do it. Now, let's talk about if you're really way down and you've got multiple issues at the same time. Let's say you got kidney failure and you got heart failure, you're on a ton of medications, and you are struggling. And you got constipation, you got bladder issues, you're not sleeping well. Okay, what's going to make that come back? How about your mitochondria, like Joanne Rollins did with us? Joanne, after your update yesterday with the doctor, you're on cloud 9. Tell me about it.
I am. I came here from California in the end of 2021. I had congestive heart failure. At that time, my heart was functioning at 20%. 3 months ago, I saw my cardiologist, and my functioning had gone up to 35. And that's about the time that I started the restore. Yesterday, I saw my cardiologist, and the echocardiogram shows that my heart has increased to 60%. And he said, I'm in the normal range now.
Wow, she's in the normal range.
Excellent.
Getting on the product.
Now, I did
Building their mitochondria up, y'all.
put in a recording a couple months ago to you of my kidneys. And the doctor had me on a diuretic, and my kidney function went from 40 back down to 20. It's now back up to 40, and he took me off of the diuretic, which was hurting my kidney. So I feel real good. My health has improved significantly.
Wow, Joanne.
You hear her say he took her off of the diuretic, so he took her off the medication that was causing her numbers to go down.
Happen to me.
Yeah.
One other thing, the Rejuvenate, I take that instead of Preparation H, and it's wonderful.
Yeah.
I don't have having it really bad, I started using the Rejuvenate, and it took away the pain and the itch almost instantaneously. Plus, there's one other thing too, and I don't sleep that great, but if it takes my Restore at night, I will sleep 5.5 hours before I have to get up to go to the bathroom. If I don't take it, I'm awake every 2 hours until morning.
Both of these really help with sleep. Restore and the Renew Body and
My
Mind.
bladder significantly too.
Good for you.
I woke up and I was wide awake, and I got up and I cleaned. And then I went back to sleep.
Right. It really does help you generally get things done. You know, so.
And I feel a whole lot better, really. My sleep time is between 6.5 to 8 hours.
So it sounds like you being able to use the Restore to get your sleep has made a significant difference for you.
Yes.
Excellent. Thank you for sharing that, Joanne.
You're quite welcome.
So most of your repair takes place at night when you're sleeping. If you can't get good sleep, then obviously those functions aren't going to work in the way that they should. So you heard her get that back, all the numbers go up. And there's another piece to what she was saying that we should have missed. We heard her talk about getting up and feeling like cleaning up her house and stuff like that. That's alluding to something we call emotional intelligence. In addition to just having the energy, you just have this ability to do the things that you need to do, right? Issues that aren't as challenging for you as they were before. Things that might have taken you out of your game or whatever, just don't bother as much. I like to say it this way: life gets easier, okay? Because you're able to deal with it so much better. Now, we're going to spend the next 10 minutes talking about Ken Jordan, that was Sergeant Marr introduced to me a few days ago. So, Ken has a heart problem, okay? And it has him where he has little or no stamina in exertion. He's going to be out of breath, just like my friend Randy Howell here in the D.C. area, Randy Nation. He was in that place for a different reason. And we got to do some serious rebuilding to get that back, okay, without a doubt. But, so Ken, what caused all this?
Well, I had blood clots, and I had them 15 years ago, and they put me on the blood thinner warfarin Coumadin for about 2.5 years, and they took me off and put me on a low-dose bear. I was fine for about, 8, 9, 10 years, and about 3 years ago, I started having trouble breathing. You know, went to my doctor, and they thought it was cold. Well, I was under this system, Beaumont, and they treated me for a cold and sinus problems, and I wasn't getting any better. A friend of mine, retired medical doctor in the Henry Ford system, another system, told me to get away from them and go to Henry Ford with a doctor he practiced with, and I did. They found out the blood clots had returned and went from my legs to my lungs to the arteries in my heart. And they told me because it didn't let go so long, I had to have open heart surgery March of last year. They did open heart surgery. They had 90% of the clots. By doing the surgery, they told me if I didn't have the surgery, I would have a year to 2 years at the most to live. And so I had the surgery, and then they also told me that 10% was in the arteries that they couldn't reach with the surgery. So I had to have 8 angioplasties from January through June of this year, every 2 weeks. They finished it in June, and
so you have this history of blood clots, and apparently you were still having some issues right before you were introduced to Mito.
Yeah, the doctors didn't know what was going on with him. Did you hear that?
that's exactly right.
Okay.
You had to switch to a different type of doctor.
What, if anything, has changed in your health since you started using Mito?
What I'm saying is this: I'm able to walk further distance. I'm able to do 20 minutes on the treadmill and increase the speed without being out of breath. I'm able to go another 20 on the stepper machine without being out of breath. I mean, I'm able to walk from the parking lot at the church into the building, which is about like walking 2 blocks, without being out of breath. So I'm seeing that now that, so those are the differences I'm seeing.
If I heard you correctly, you were having problems with your stamina.
Correct.
You were out of breath.
Correct.
You started on Mito. Now, next question. How long after you started on Mito did you notice your stamina increase at all?
I'll say about a month.
Okay.
I'll
1
say about
month
a
after
month,
getting on these products.
a solid month, because I started taking it 3 times a day.
Okay, and at that point, you were taking how much?
I would take 4 tablets a day, and then
Taking 4
the
tablets
liquid
a
I
day.
was drinking,
Renew body and mind.
and I didn't measure it with a teaspoon. I would just drink it right out the bottle.
Okay.
2 to 3 times a day.
All right. So,
He was doing that to the
were
restore
you using
arm.
Rejuvenate at all? The cream?
The cream, yeah, I use that on my legs, my joints, and my arms, elbows, and maybe knee area. Yes.
Yeah, just cut it in the area.
Yeah. Swelling in both legs. And in my knee area, from my knees on down, primarily from knees on down, and also some in my feet.
Well, did it continue to hurt, or did that change also?
It got better.
Okay.
It got better.
Did you notice anything else other than your comfort level and your stamina? Perhaps your mental acuity, maybe elimination. Was there anything else that you might have noticed change after you started using Mito?
Yes, I was going to bathroom often.
Okay.
We were doing that thing.
All right. Well, thanks for sharing that, Ken. I really appreciate it.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, so Tim was going to die in a year or two if he doesn't take this operation. And he didn't know about us at that time. And that's some years ago. In the last couple of years, as you heard him say, his problems come back. And here's what we've learned over and over again. There's some problems that you just can't fix unless you get mitochondria in play so that your body can do it, right? There was 10% of those blood clots they couldn't even reach the surgery. So what's going to reach? It's got to be your body. Okay. Now, he had this similar issue to what Nelson Rowan had. I played the Nelson Rowan interview for him. He had the same thing, blood clot goes to his lungs, shut the lungs down, heart's next. And he's got all this medication he's got to take, and he's in a mess, okay? And also we listened to Franklin and the Randy Nation again, that he had got fibrosis and he wasn't able to breathe, had to go around with one of those portable oxygen machines like you see on TV. So we're going to pick up the second part after he's listened to those two.
Any other questions?
I check my vitals every day. I check my blood pressure. I check my oxygen levels. I have oxygen meter, the kind they have at the hospital. See, my oxygen meter also is a heart meter. So I do a spreadsheet every morning, take my weight, my blood pressure, pulse, oxygen, and heart rate, and I record it, and date and time. And so to see particularly, how I'm particularly interested now. I'm a blood pressure, but also my oxygen, because I've been off the oxygen for probably 8-9 months, but I want to just make sure that it stays in a very good zone, and it averages anywhere from 95 to 99. And you don't get any better than 100. And before, I was at 89, 88, sometimes hit 90.
What were you right before you started Mito?
About 89 to 90. 89 to 90, sometimes it's 81. This morning I was at 95.
Okay.
Yesterday I was at 96. Day before that I was at 97. Then I bounced back to 96, 90, from 96 to 97. Then some days I'm 98.
So now, you may recognize what you're telling me to be consistent with what the other guy just told you. And I asked him to go get 2 oxygen monitors. And when he was driving on that elliptical, he was wearing 2 oxygen monitors. I want to make sure he got a really good renal malfunction. And for him to get all the way down to 77 and still be able to stride on that, that's just ridiculous. This is what you're seeing. You're seeing the increase in your oxygen efficiency as you stay on it and everything like that. And if you want to find out what it's like without it, just stop taking it and you'll see.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. So what I would be saying to someone like you who has this kind of situation, I would be double dosing every day.
Okay.
You know, okay. I'm not playing with this. So I already got a serious health condition, and I'm not trying to go back there, and I'm trying to get off these medications. I'm not doing less than double dosing.
And that's where I'm at. I do want to get off some of this medication.
Use this one as many times as possible.
The side effects, like that dentist, is one of the side effects is it can greatly drop your blood pressure. My blood pressure one morning was 70/40. I would love to get off that dentist.
And your oxygen numbers, to me, are telling. You know good and well your oxygen was hitting high 80s and low 90s before.
It worked, without a doubt. Yes. I'm checking it every day.
Okay. How long were you on MoreMito before the oxygen numbers started going up?
About a month.
Okay. See, like my first that I talked about, that was done within a few something. But I suspect, based on what you're telling me now, if he had reported, his was going up too. What was immediately obvious was his oxygen efficiency, right? He's able to function at 77.
Right.
Can you imagine yours being down at 77?
You know that now, man. I've been just about to pass out.
Which is what he said. You sweat, you gotta go somewhere and sit down before you fall down.
No, exactly. At 77, you about to pass out.
Yeah. So that's where we took you from that kind of danger all the way up to where if someone was just taking your oxygen, they couldn't tell you I had a problem with it. You know, I can take mine, it's gonna be high 90. There you go. You got our best advice, which is don't do like so many people do. And you heard even Nelson said he backed off about a month, didn't take him long, he needs to go back on, right? So I would put myself on auto shift with 2 brain and body bundles. And I would just keep on this and let myself keep on coming back and see how much of a normal life I can get back.
2 brain and body bundles. This is a brain and body bundle.
With me.
Okay, I appreciate that, and I'm going to I'm gonna follow that advice.
All right. Well, let's stay in touch. I really want to follow your progress.
Well, I appreciate your time and appreciate the
You
advice.
want to know how to get it? You can get it. Look, if you're on Success on Stephanie or the Health and Wealth Show Stephanie, it's in the description area. If somebody referred you, you want to always get back with the person that referred you if somebody else referred you. If you're on Facebook, then just inbox me and I'll send you information on how to get it.
Really key things that were in that conversation we were having. Your blood oxygen level should be 90 or above, between 90 and 100, right? And mostly closer to the 100, right? High 90s, something. All that's okay. You go to the hospital and your blood pressure is 95, 96, something like that. They're not worried about it, okay? But if they start dipping down in the high 80s and stuff, you have a problem. Okay, you need that oxygen to get to the mitochondria to make energy. We already told you in the introduction, if that stops, then you're going to die. We already told him he was within a year or two if he doesn't take this operation. But now he's still got those issues. He's pretty much trending back toward the way he started. So here we come with Dr. Elliott's marvelous invention, and now his cells are able to reboot the mitochondria, grow some more, okay? So now he's starting to fix these things. And no we didn't cure his heart failure, any of that. All we did was help restore his mitochondria. Your body hadn't forgot how to fix you. Okay? It just, again, needed that cellular energy that it had lost. Okay? So, let's get real about this. Doctors can't fix everything. They do a marvelous job of what they do. But to get your body to take the rest of the way, you've been hearing what you got to do. Okay? Now, let's hear from our poster child for about 30 seconds. Ron Law, who has had everything wrong with him, cancer and going blind and heart issues and all of that. He got a message from his doctor for you.
So I'm in a very fortunate position to have the heart doctor in following up said, I don't know what you're on or what you're taking, but you're the fastest healing person of me putting a pacemaker in your body, and you're out lifting or feeding 60-pound bales of hay in the second month. I wouldn't have recommended that. And I said, hey, I have to. I can do it. No problem.
Okay. So he had a heart operation. You had to put the heart valve and everything in there. You're not supposed to recover anytime soon. It should take you months. You heard what he just said. Why was that? That was because he got his mitochondria regrown, and his body could fix him a lot faster than doctors had any reason to believe was possible. Okay? Too bad they can't write a prescription with this stuff. They could probably avoid a lot of suffering and hassle. My opinion, of course. Okay?
They can only get it from
decide. We just give you the information.
So you create your free customer website.
All right, now, bear in mind that everything we're saying that pertains to people also pertains to pets. So we've got this marvelous Petlife product. Nick McQuillan, our partner in Ireland, got this amazing business over there. They're partnered with us. Yeah, we got Nick standing by.
Pets can use the Petlife as well as the Rejuvenate Gel. For those of you, if you were referred by somebody else, get back with the person that referred you. But if you wasn't referred by somebody else, then the information is in the description. If you're on Health and Wealth Show with Stephanie or Success on Stephanie, if you're watching this on Facebook, then just inbox me.
I log in on one, and then halfway through I change my device. I only do it. You can rely on me. Amazing. Where else would I want to be on a Saturday afternoon or a Saturday evening? These calls are amazing. Roger, thank you so much. And of course, my name is Nick McQuillan, and like Roger said, hey, we've got this amazing business called Petlife Rejuvenate. And that business, it helps pet owners feel better. Something that makes them feel bad with their pets. And that's the way I was feeling. So maybe some of you feel like that. Maybe you've got pets and they're a little bit under the weather, a little bit older, they're a little bit achy. The joints are maybe creaking a little bit. I get it. I know how you feel because I felt the same way. And I was looking for something. And we came across this company. We reached out to Dale. We reached out to Roger. They sent us this little care package. We gave it to Coco at 10 o'clock in the morning. And at 5 o'clock that night, you ran up the stairs. And what else could you do? And it just kept getting better and better from then on in. So we just love it. And we just share it. We tell people about it. And I had to laugh, Roger. Whenever anybody starts a call, when any host ever starts a call with, how not to die from, ... you're going to get some serious information on that call, aren't you? And that ... you can fill in the blanks with whatever your problem is. How do you fix it? How did James fix it? How did Joanne fix it? How did Ken fix it? Cellular energy. It's beautiful. I love it. How did my dog fix it? Cellular energy.
Cellular energy.
James took the product. Joanne took the product. Ken took the product. We just kept getting better and better. That's what we all want. We all want better. Roger talked about it. Better energy, better mental focus, better stamina, all of these things. We all want those things, especially as we're getting older and we're feeling more tired, maybe in lethargic in the afternoon. Why wouldn't you want to try these products? They work for me. I love that brain and body. I take it in the morning. Feel it, kick it in the afternoon. It's incredible. I know Roger talks about taking it 6 or 7 times a day. Does the guy ever sleep? I don't know. I love these products. I use them on myself. I use them on my pets and share them with our customers. And I recommend you do the same. I recommend you try them for yourself. See what does Roger say? Mix it with your DNA. See what happens. See what happens for you. Listen to what Ken was talking about. He's writing down his measurements every day. You can see the improvements. You know, if you want improvements, you need to make a change. You know, to get those improvements, write it down, check it out. You know, I must get Jerry on this call because Jerry's having some amazing results, Roger. Incredible results.
Really?
She's not even sure how it's happening. We know how it's happening. She's doing the cellular energy thing. She's putting this stuff in her body, and it's working for her the way that it needs to work for her. I don't know how it's going to work for you. It's going to work for you the way it needs to work for you. You just got to take it. So I'm going to encourage you. Dale's going to tell you where you can find out more about it. But reach out to that person who invited you into this call. If you're on the call for the first time, if you've been here already and you know what it's all about, we want to hear your story. I want to hear your story. I want to hear what's happening for you. But if you've never been on this call before and you're not sure what to do, reach out to that person who invited you to the call and ask them what your next steps are, if any. But listen, give it a shot, give it your best shot, and see what happens. Roger, thanks for the opportunity.
That's why y'all hear me say get back with the person that referred you, because if somebody referred you, that's who you need to get with to create your free customer website. If nobody referred you, then if you found out by one of my social media sites, etc., us forwarding something to you, then just look in the description on Health and Wealth Show with Stephanie or Success on Stephanie. Whichever one you're watching on Facebook, you can just inbox me.
That's right.
All right. So star 5 on your phone. Many of you already have your hand up already. We're gonna entertain your questions and your comments momentarily. And shout out to the folks, by the way, in Philadelphia. You were amazing. I was there last Sunday. Heading south and a little bit to North Carolina and to Atlanta, going through Greenville on the way. Monday night, we're going to do a huge call for folks, a slave family up in New York. And everyone else is invited to attend. You can see those announcements in the back office. But let me kind of acquaint you with the process here, particularly if you got on the call later, you just need to hear it again. MoreMito, we got a different approach to health and wellness, right? We want to regrow your mitochondria. What's that if you don't know? That's a component in your cells that produces all the energy that your body runs on, okay? Major issues if you don't have those working well. Okay? Body can't fix itself. You got this special technology that our scientist, Dr. Henry, created. He can regrow your mitochondria, put them back so you can have it like you did when you were younger. You had all that energy. You could do everything with a burst of energy, right? But you lost it. So therefore you have issues that you wouldn't have if you were younger and you had it back. And what you've been hearing today on this call is examples of what can happen when people do that. Okay? So this technology, special technology, it's called XDS, stands for exponential delivery system, reorganizes the ingredients that you see on our product labels, right? So they get in your mitochondria and they make them grow. It's in 3 products. The first one's called Restore, whose purpose is to repair your cells and regenerate your organs. Okay? There's a subset of those 44 ingredients it has that regrow mitochondria. Others speak to every organ you have. Okay, heart, liver, kidney, etc. Specific nutrition that they need is in that product. Then there's Renew, Brain, and Body, which is capsules that are water soluble because we can't get all this stuff we need to regrow your mitochondria from one place. It's kind of scattered through nature with the oil-soluble ones and Restore with the water-soluble ones in the capsules with Renew, Brain, and Body. Then there's that amazing Rejuvenate. It's a topical gel. You put it on your skin. Great for anything that affects your hair, your scalp, or your skin, any place on your body, but it does stop there, penetrates to the bone. And you can put some Restore in it, maybe a teaspoon, shake it up, and then you got all 44 of those ingredients hitting a ride with Rejuvenate, which is designed to be transdermal, take nutrition through the skin, so you can put it right on that knee, that shoulder, that whatever you got that's an issue for you, you can do that. Results are amazing.
You can also put it on your gums if you have dental problems.
So that's what we got, and we suggest you give it a try. I mean, don't be a victim of misinformation and clever advertising. All right, you know your body's designed to fix you. Everyone knows that. But how does it do it? What does it need to do it with? It needs more mitochondria, and that's what we specialize in. Okay. All right. With that, Dale Bonet with the commercial.
Thank you, Roger. Listen, everybody, you get these products at MoreMito.com, MoreMito.com, then a /,
and type in your username and hit enter. You're going to be at your website now. You know it's your website because your name is at the top of the page. So is your phone number, your email, and your WhatsApp if you put that in there. That's where you send people to learn more about these products after you've initially told them what you know and what these products can do. There, at your website, they can read the ingredient list, they can read about XDS, they can read about the entire procedure to create these products and what they can do. They can also listen to a selection of testimonials. Most important, they can purchase from you. You heard me say you can't buy from the company, you have to buy from a person. That person is you because you told them these products exist. But you know what? They can also go one step further and join you. Listen, we've created a one-of-a-kind product line. You know that now from what you heard. There's nothing like what these products do and the way they achieve it. Well, we built a one-of-a-kind company to support this one-of-a-kind product line. There's no cost to join MoreMito. We don't charge you to be here and tell people about it. We don't charge you monthly to be here. Even the websites are free. Those are gifted to you from us so you can spread the message of support for these products. And we hope you decide, it's your choice to participate in our compensation plan. If you do, you're going to find it is unique as well. We don't pay once a month or once a week or even once a day. Every time a purchase happens, once you're a verified member with us, we verified your phone and your email to prove that you're real and not some shyster trying to game the system. Once you're an approved member, listen, when people make a purchase, your compensation's in your back office within minutes. If you've joined us as a referring customer, then you get Mito cash. Use it to buy products, pay for your shipping, even send it to other people to help them out. Or you can upgrade. That's also free, no charge to upgrade to a paid rep. That means you can utilize the Stripe Connectivity ACH on steroids payment system, meaning you can get paid anywhere in the world. You can get paid quickly. You can get paid securely. That's the big deal. So send the money to your bank account. You can send it to Venmo. You can send it to PayPal. The point is this. We're here to support you. If you could create a product that was unique, one of a kind, and helped a myriad of things with people, not one thing, multiple things, you'd create this product. If you could create a company to support it and bear all the cost of providing that support, simply provide a company to help the message get out, you'd create this company. We've done everything we can do except the one thing we can't do, and that's talk to the people you interact with. You're surrounded by people who have conditions that you heard about on this call. You're surrounded by people that would benefit from knowing what you know. So look, you've got a secret. Share it. Let everybody know. We've got a 30-day money-back, no question asked, empty bottle guarantee. They've got nothing to lose and everything to gain from trying and then sharing the product as well. So we've got a Cracker Jack support team. You call the number at the bottom of your website. You talk to a person. If you get a message, it's because everybody's already on the phone helping other people. But if you leave a message, you're going to get a call back. Nobody does that anymore. Amazon, the big companies, you're talking through email. Or you're leaving a message and never getting a call back. We're different. We're here to support you. So let us know what we can do to support you. Get involved. Share the message. Change people's lives and their pocketbook. There's nothing like MoreMito. Roger, if I left anything out, let me know. I'm going to turn it back to you.
You did great, Dale. We're gonna get right to these hands in a moment, but we got two opportunities here, right? The first one's pretty obvious. Give this technology a try. You put it together with your DNA. Let's see what your body comes up with. Maybe you've got a specific health concern, or maybe you just want to be the healthiest person you can possibly be. Either way, we are confident that regrowing your mitochondria can have a major impact on that.
Definitely.
The other thing is that more people need to hear what you've been hearing today. Our passion is to get this message out to more people. We've created this risk-free opportunity for you to help us do that. It costs you nothing to get involved with us or stay involved with us for that matter. Maybe you just want to earn enough to pay for your product and maybe earn some more so you can help some other folks. Frank Provenzano down in Roanoke, Virginia, gave away $30,000 worth of product last year to helping other people. We're so proud of him, and others of you have done similar things. Okay? Or maybe you got to do some serious stuff. Maybe you're a professional marketer and you've been looking for something that was worth your time, you know, an exclusive product, exclusive technology like you can't get at Walmart or on the internet. One place to get it, and you just got it right here. Okay? If any of that describes you, by all means, affiliate with us. Let's see what we can do together. We are absolutely going places. And
Link is in the description. You want to help the Wealth Show with Stephanie or
So,
Success with Stephanie? Facebook, inbox
if
me.
I got Ken or Ron Long or any of the folks whose interviews I played,
Or get back to the person that referred you.
Some more. But I see, while they're getting it together, I see Alice Dorsey on the line out of New York. We got her event coming up for her on a Zoom call. So give me Alice Dorsey, Dale.
I've got it, Alice, go ahead.
Grace and peace, MoreMito family.
Yes.
Hi there, Roger. Excellent call as normal. I just want to say that
Yes.
I think I heard you say that this call is going to be Monday. It's going to be tomorrow night.
No, Sunday night. It's Sunday night.
Okay, yes. Tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. Everyone, you have the rest of the night and tomorrow to get people on the call. Let's close it out for Roger, our one and only CEO and co-founder. And like I said, if you know anyone that has
those of y'all that are interested in getting on that Zoom call, make sure you either you send me a message on Help the Web Show with Stephanie, Success on Stephanie, inbox me on Facebook, or simply text me. Text 817-320-2571 and let me know you would like the link for the Zoom conference on Sunday night, which is tomorrow night, 7 p.m. I'm assuming that's Central Standard Time, but she did not say. If it's something different, then we will find out, and we can let you know. So, again, either send me a message on Help the Web Show with Stephanie, Success on Stephanie, inbox me on Facebook Live, or text me, area code 817-320-2571. And even if you're not interested in getting on there, then make sure you forward this information to somebody else, because guess what? Everybody has mitochondria. So, it's not like you have to think of, oh, who can I forward this to? Because everybody has mitochondria, and every animal has mitochondria. Everybody needs to get their mitochondria strong, okay? So it's not that, oh, they're too healthy and all this. I can guarantee you everybody is not 100% healthy, okay? So we have a product that is totally natural. It's considered a food. It's not a medication. And this can help build your mitochondria up for anybody, okay? It doesn't make a difference what your conditions are, because so many people keep coming saying, oh, will this help with heart? Will this help with, say, blood clots? Y'all, I had blood clots. This is what I got on to help me, and I no longer have to go to my oncologist for my blood clots, nor being anemic. I had been anemic basically all my life. This is the product that I got on that actually helped me. This took me off of all those medications that the doctors had me on.
All right, how about Renee Stewart in Stafford, Virginia?
All right, Renee, I'll unmute you. Go ahead with your question. Renee, we don't hear you.
Might need to unmute.
Number ends in 8002. Whoever's holding that phone, unmute and say hello.
While we're waiting on Renee, y'all, we have these calls every Monday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, so you can adjust it to your time zone, and every Saturday at 10:50 a.m. Central Standard Time, adjust it to your time zone. The call-in number is 608-906-0003. Again, 608-906-0003. So Stephanie Alford is personally inviting you all to join us every Monday night and every Saturday.
An angioplasty is coming Wednesday.
And someone called me yesterday from, I guess, getting me prepared with paperwork and stuff, and they're trying to tell me that, I don't take any medication, which is good, and I do take the MoreMito. And they're telling me not to take MoreMito starting today, up till, whatever, which I'm not supposed to eat or drink after midnight next Tuesday. I guess my question is, it's basically a food product, is it not? And I don't see why I can't take it up till then. Do you think there's a problem doing that?
Well, right, but it's a food product, but it just tells you they don't want you to eat or drink, right? So just follow the advice.
But that's not until Tuesday. She was wanting me to start not taking it already today.
She's thinking it's a medication.
Okay, well, we're not going to contradict. Okay, but we're not going to contradict doctor's advice, though. Just go along with it. So you'll be back on that stuff in no time.
You have to make that decision. Me, I would stay on it longer, but that's me because this is my body, and I know what these products do for me and my body.
So this line is filling up.
So.
We have a hard time unless I get over double digits, right? Okay, so let's try Steve Mitchell, somewhere in the U.S. The caller, I think, says is calling you on the internet.
But understand, Mr. Hill is not going to go against the doctors. He's not going to go against the doctors when it comes to what
I'm actually
that
living in
situation like that.
Pennsylvania, which is about roughly 20 minutes outside of Philadelphia.
Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah, I heard you were there last week. I couldn't make it, but I heard you were in Philadelphia last week, so I have to catch you next time. Well, I'm a dialysis patient, and I introduced to the product by my frat brother Clyde Sherman in Ghana.
Yeah, Ghana.
Yeah, he turned me on.
Y'all
to,
see, we're all over, so it
Chris
doesn't
White,
make a difference if you're in other countries and everything.
Ordered the product, and she explained how to use it, and she's been really helpful. She got me some product actually from your event last Sunday. She bought some for me, and I got it from her this week.
Right.
But I just I've been on it for dialysis for since February of 2004. I'm sorry, 2024. I'm sorry.
All right.
And it's really been. I have to say it's not really been that bad, but I don't want to be on it. So I was introduced to this.
Understood.
It could possibly help me, hopefully, get off.
Yes.
And I bought the product. I got August the 4th was when I first got my first shipment, and I've been taking it ever since I've been taking it. I take about a triple dose every day, sometimes quadruple dose to restore. I take six of the brain and body every day, and I use the cream about twice a day. I have noticed I have more energy. When I go to work after my treatments. I go to treatments Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturdays, and I go to work right after. I'm off on Saturdays, but I go on Tuesday and Thursday. I go right to work, and I work through the day. So it's like I've noticed I'm getting strong. I don't get as tired as much as I used to, and I have a lot of energy during the course of the day. I walk faster. And it's just really been, I'm really hoping to keep going. I'm going to keep going, and hopefully it can get the results I'm looking for. But
So let me comment.
Sure.
Yeah, let me comment. So your body has begun to do everything it needs to do to help you make that happen. Okay, you can tell it in your energy, and your body processes are all starting to spin up now as you actually regrow that mitochondria. So all you really got to do is keep doing what you're doing, and let your body, finish the job.
Yeah, I plan to. I plan to keep going until I get the results I'm looking for, basically.
He said he's taking it 3 to 4 times a day.
I talked to
so that means he's buying 3 to 4 bundles to be able to do that.
She had her name on the
This is a bundle. This is one bundle.
And Lexi was in dialysis like you are, and she's producing urine again. So we see these positive signs and whatnot, and like I said, you just got to let your body finish the rebuilding process. You'll be fine.
Well,
Okay.
the good news is I've always produced urine, thank God, and it's just not, the volume isn't as much as it was previously, but I do
Right.
go, every day, but, hopefully it gets better, and I keep leaning
Okay.
on the race.
And the fact you can leave the house and go work a job, that
Have
speaks
that
volumes.
energy. Most people don't have that energy.
Even when I first started, I was working the whole time, so I never stopped working. My appetite is better. It wasn't really bad at first either, but it's better now. I notice it's better now, but I've always had a pretty good appetite. But I'm gonna keep going, and hopefully everything's good.
All right. Well, it's good meeting you in Philadelphia, and look forward to following your progress in the future. Okay.
Thanks. Yeah, I spoke to Dale probably a few weeks ago. He helped me with the shipment, so.
Y'all, that was great hearing that from him. I've talked to several people that were on dialysis and had the problem not being able to urine. And I can personally say that I know a few people that because they got on it and took it the way it should have been taken, they've started to be able to urinate, some of those that could not urinate. So now understand it depends on how your body works with the product. So, it's not what the product does for you, it's what your body does with the product.
Yeah, the reason it was because regrowing mitochondria works for everything, and that's what we do. As a result of regrowing their mitochondria, we get lots of people with dry eye. Bevan himself had dry eye. That was the first thing that went away.
Scientists, yes.
Okay? Your body can fix that apparently. Through the retina. All the eye-related stuff, retinas and so forth, your retinas in your eyes, that bit of tissue there, has more mitochondria in it than any other tissue in your body, even more than your heart, even more than your brain, on a pound for pound basis. So it's very common for people to get dramatic progress with their vision as a result of restoring it.
I have.
So are you already using our technology, or are you considering getting it?
I've been using it. Yes. And I also, does it work with the cataracts? Because I let them do surgery on my eyes, and it just got worse when they did it. And
So
I just had somebody call me with the same issue.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, and I understand the trauma associated with that. Okay, so what you want to do is you can use the Restore Rejuvenate combination, that mixture on your eyelids. I do that every day, multiple times a day on my eyes. And you can also put the drops of the oil right in your eye. We recommend Petlife because it's milder, it's not as strong, because we got those citrus oils in Restore, and it's like spraying orange juice in your eye. Okay, I mean, people do it. I'm not one of them. But you find the Petlife be much more comfortable. You can just put those drops, and the idea there is, give yourself a good target when you're putting those drops in your eye, like lean back, like I'm doing in my chair right now, and look up at the ceiling or something like that. So you've got more an opportunity to get it in there and not let it get tangled up in your eyelashes or your eyebrow, all over your face. Make sure you're on target. And that'll take a little bit of practice because we have a natural reflex to not put stuff in our eye. You know what I'm saying? So just work with that. Couple drops in there, either eye, close that eye, put the oven in there. I do it in the morning when I do it, because I can just lie back down for a few minutes and wait for it to go away, or at night before you go to bed. And of course, any other time you want, those are very, very convenient to do. And
the day you think I should do it?
there's no limit to how many times a day you should do it, but you should do it several times a day if possible. If we're talking about I only do my morning and night, but you can do it as often as you like, as is feasible for you to do. And with respect to the Restore, that's a high-tech salad dressing. When this stuff is super safe and really good for you, however many times you take it. How much total are you taking a day? Now, not how many times you take, but how much total Restore are you taking for the day?
Are we talking in the mouth or in the eyes?
In the mouth.
3.
Okay.
Like the.
Okay, now again, you tell me how many times. You said 3 droppers?
Yeah, Yeah, the
Okay,
numbers.
and you're doing that once a day?
Yeah, taking a 4 dose.
No, 3 times.
You're doing 3 droppers 3 times a day.
Yeah. One in
Okay,
the
that's
morning,
significant.
and one in the evening.
Okay, now you're saying 1. You're doing 1 dropper 3 times a day.
Yes.
Okay, so that's less than the starting dosage. The starting dosage is 4 for the day. Okay, so you need to step that up. All right, that would be part of why if you're not getting rapid results, that could easily be part of it right there, right? And furthermore,
Filled up to
like
here,
you heard me talk to
to the top
gentleman
line
with
where it
heart,
says 1 milliliter.
you can
Four
take
dose
significantly
is
more
one
than that. I
dose.
double and triple dose every day, and that's just to keep up with all the stuff I got to do, not because I have any, serious conditions that I'm dealing with. Okay, so and by all means, feel free to refer folks so we can pay you. Okay, and you can make everything more affordable that way. But one way or the other, I would be trying to take more.
Yes. Tell people so you can get your products for free. It really works.
Yes, thank you.
All right, thank you. Okay, so we got a wireless call from Florence, South Carolina, one of my favorite places. Let's see who that is, Dale. Number is
All right, wireless caller. You're 5346. I've unmuted you. Give us your name. Tell us where you're calling from.
This is Thomas James calling from Florence, South Carolina.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Thomas. Good to hear you.
Yeah, I would like to get the spelling of the product that we're talking about.
So, what of the product? Say that again, please.
How do you spell the name?
Oh, spell the name of it. Okay. So all of this is on our website, Thomas. It's MoreMito.com. MoreMito. Yep. MITO. Yeah, like more. Yeah,
Okay.
.com. Okay. And you can get to our site right there, and you can click on products.
So it's MoreMito.com, then / and your username, which will bring up your website. So in order to create your username, create your free customer website, then you want to get back with the person that referred you. If you were referred by, say, one of my social media, or one of my TV shows, Health Show with Stephanie, Success on Stephanie, then you'll go to, or Facebook, then you'll go to MoreMito, MoreMito.com /SALFORD. Otherwise, get back with the person that referred you. Once you go there, then you're going to click join, you'll click referring customer, and then it's going to pull up a page, and you'll put in your name, address, email address, phone number, create your username and password, and your site is up just like that. Your free customer website is up just like that. If you need assistance, you can text me. You can send me a message. Text 817-320-2571 or send me a message.
All right, thank you so much.
All right, great having you on.
All right.
Orangeburg, South Carolina. I'm gonna come through there the week after next.
Orangeburg, your number ends in 3198. Give us your name and ask your question. I've unmuted you.
Jerome Williams.
Hello, Jerome.
Jerome in the house.
Hey, I ain't got a question, but I just want to give a testimony.
Okay.
I have a two and a half year old granddaughter was running a fever of 101.7. We rubbed my wife rubbed the MoreMito onto her forehead, her temples, the back of her neck, and her stomach. And at 1 hour and a half, her temperature went from 101.7 to 96.7. Just to let you know, the MoreMito is not only working for adults, it's working for the children too.
My
Because
grandkids use them.
I suffer with chronic back pain because I have a fusion in my L4, L3. So this pain goes down from my back to all the way down to my lower legs. So I've been taking the drops 3 times a day. I've been rubbing myself. Listen here, I'm up outside right now working in my yard, doing things I wasn't able to do because of the MoreMito. I was introduced to MoreMito by Foot Soldier.
There you go.
Foot Soldier McGee. Yes, Mac.
That's right.
And Mac introduced me to this, and we introduced my family. I got not only my family on it, my children on it, and I'm spreading through my bloodline because I know what it's doing for me and my wife. My wife had floaters on her eye, had burning eyes. She placed it on her eyes, and she no longer have floaters, no eyes, no burn. Her energy level is off the roof. Hey man, listen, we are in our late 60s and we enjoying life. And we're thankful for the life.
Enjoying life from building their mitochondria up. That's what I'm talking about.
I'm going to be doing a series called Mito Fix My Family. Okay? And I'll call you back and interview you and your family to be a part of that.
That'll be a great one. Great episode, Mito Fix My Family. Can't wait for that one. Yes.
Love we do it a family at a time. All right, I got it. Thank you, sir.
Fantastic. Thank you, Jerome.
Be blessed.
All right.
You as well. Have a blessed day.
Okay. So that was part one. So let's go get the angel, Esmeralda.
All right, Esmeralda in Florida. I unmuted you. Go ahead.
Hey there. Good afternoon. How are you? Many blessings. You hear me?
Yes.
Excellent.
I can. Go right ahead.
Okay, so I met someone that has a child that's having epilepsy seizures and someone else that had a heart attack, which I already know what they need to do, but can you elaborate a little bit on that?
I can elaborate on what has happened for other people whose mitochondria restored were concerned about their seizures. We had a lady, she was having seizures like every hour. She was a seizure machine. And when she started using our technology, we grew our mitochondria and whatnot, and then all of a sudden that was few and far between. Okay, but for her it could be an hourly event for her. So there's something that happens that people's bodies are able to do once we get this mitochondrial restoration underway. So good news there.
Right. And I believe I have a testimonial. I'm just asking the person to confirm. She has that skin discoloration, and I think it's normalizing. So once I verify that, I will definitely get you that information so it can be one of the miraculous testimonies like we have.
Awesome.
Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you.
Thank you. Blessings.
Great having you on. Okay. Scott Lamb. Let's see what Scott's got.
Scott, I've unmuted you. Go ahead.
I'm still trying to find out if I could take products and the MoreMito at the same time.
Okay, I'm gonna give you the same answer I gave you last week. Yes, there's no contraindication. We've got thousands of people who tried this on every kind of medication, including the one you just mentioned, and it was not an issue. If you're concerned about it, just start with a little bit and see how it goes. But no one else has had an issue. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Scott.
Y'all see, he's consistent with his answers. You know,
Great
you
question.
can call in one time and then call in another episode, and he's going to tell you the same thing as he just mentioned.
Richard Bendel in Ontario. He's a cool guy. Let's hear from Richard.
Very cool. Richard, take it away, buddy. I unmuted you.
Hi, Roger. Great call. Thank you.
All right.
I have a birthday coming up next Tuesday, my 86th birthday. I have to say, after being on the product 14 months, I'm feeling like I'm 40, 50 years younger, and not having to be on any drugs. And my last medical I had blood pressure of a teenager, 118/65.
Wow.
And
how high had it been, Richard? How high was it before?
I've been on health products, but nothing like this, because I was on quite a few products because I had cancer earlier, and but I've been able to really consolidate and do more of the Mito products, MoreMito products, and save a few $100 a month by going on fewer of the store nutraceuticals. So that's it's. I must say I've been pretty good all along. The big difference was whatever I was on before. It helped my. It wasn't until I got on the MoreMito products that my eye vision really improved. So, but that all that is a sidebar. I use quite a bit of my MoreMito products, and I'm going to till the day I die. But I had because you're talking about heart, and I haven't had heart issues, but because it's one of the highest mitochondrial dense organs in the body, I ran across a really thorough report on a person that lived for 117 years old. It's in one of the international papers of this past week, and I thought, to live 117 years old, I hope they mention something about mitochondria. And sure enough.
Yeah, to live like that, you definitely need to get your mitochondria stronger, right? He mentioned that he hadn't had any heart issues, y'all. I have had heart issues, okay? From the moment I was born, I was born with a heart murmur, and then that got better, but later on I had other heart issues. And I'm gonna tell you, I did not see a change in my health until I got on the products. When I got on the products is when I saw a change in my health, and I no longer go to that cardiologist anymore.
The first thing they mentioned are mitochondria, so I thought I'd call you on that basis. But
all right, well, thank you for sharing that, Richard. That is huge. You still putting that book out on your cancer journey?
Yeah, I've been helping so many people with MoreMito that it's kind of a little bit delayed, but I'm hoping that within the next several months.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Take care.
Appreciate that. Okay. Let's see about Clyde Sherman, who had somebody on the call here earlier. Clyde, talk to me briefly. Talk to me briefly, Clyde.
Hey guys, how's it going? Hello.
Okay. Yes.
Great. Yes, I'm still here in Clargana, and that was my fraternity brother Steve in the tri-state area, Philadelphia. When I be doing that shout out like I know I do, all my fraternity brothers, I be trying to get him on the call, but he is being so successful dealing with his diabetes and dialysis, and he's motivated. He's one of my strong three. He's got 2 people under him, and we all are part of it because of Grace White and her tremendous team and Michael Loman in Philadelphia. Shout out to the Eagles. Go MoreMito. We are healing people day by day. The mitochondria story is ready.
All right. Thank you, Clyde. Let's keep it moving.
Thank you. You got it, man. All aboard.
All right. There we go.
Hope y'all are taking notes. I'm
All
taking
right,
several.
Clyde. Checking in with us from Ghana.
I have a lot more people to help.
Nancy again.
All right. Nancy, I've unmuted you. Are you with us this time?
I'm here. I was there, but the sound was off something in my phone. Thank you for calling back. I think we have a couple testimonials at the beginning. Actually, my sciatic pain, which is totally bone and bone, has really stopped the pain, and I can walk better. So that's
Sciatica, yes.
And my cataract in my eye, after the dentist gave me 9 shots to pull a tooth, and I became blind in my right eye from a huge cataract. Couldn't see anything.
actually, I started putting in my eye, the drops, and that's when it really started helping. And so I went back to the doctor because I went back to get the glasses that I had to take. Because of the car issue, me driving. And so anyway, after the week I was waiting, I started dosing my eye, and I put it right in like everyone else is. And actually went back, and the doctor was there, and he was standing near me, and I went there, and he said, and I said, I think my eyes are better. He goes, no way, 7 days. And I actually said, well, put your hand up and I'll tell you how many fingers you have. And he couldn't believe it. Oh my God. And so he asked for the number, so that was cool. But he is in a place where he can't, no one needs that because that's where he's working on it. So, but he didn't tell me too much about if he's, after that, he wouldn't talk about it. So, so I wanted, that was the whole thing. I actually was calling in for Scott, and he was concerned, which I know he got on. He's concerned about his blood going too thin with his blood pressure medicine. And he wanted to go on 4 doses a day.
Yeah, he should just, as I was saying to him, he doesn't have to start at 4 doses if he's still concerned about it. Okay, he just start with one milliliter. And
he's been on,
gain confidence.
He's been on for a year, so he just probably was not loyal. But I think he wants to really be loyal because he heard about people getting really fast results by taking 3 and 4 doses a day.
Well, let's go. We have people with stiff in their heart, all blood thinners, all of that. But like I say, walk it in slow, build your confidence, if you have that concern, and then work out, okay?
Okay, that's what he wanted to know. He could go on 3, and he's been doing 2. And what else? I have a couple nephews, and I just want to ask you if you could say anything about Huntington's disease, and I know it's a nerve. Probably it's going to help with it. Is there anything you can say about that? I know you don't have a lot of testimonials yet.
I don't think I have any.
But there's one guy.
If it's neurological, then we get a lot of good results with stuff that we're, not supposed to get any. Okay.
Is that do what the children are doing? Autism.
Yeah. So let me. You would do the same thing, But the easy thing for me is that I know we're not trying to cure the disease, right? All we're doing is feeding the cells so they can regrow the mitochondria. So that our guidance isn't any different for someone, fill in the blank for the condition. Some like where you put it, how many times you use it, those kinds of things. But the key is get it in. Let's go.
Yeah, because I have a couple nephews that found out, so I want to give them hope, and that's why I'm just asked a little bit more. I think that's all I need to know. I was living in Asheville. I just want to tell you, in my house, that my apartment blew away. So I'm glad I moved.
You in Asheville, North Carolina?
I was here for 3.5 years. I loved it. So much fun. Just dancing and everything. But I felt to move at one time, and when I heard that my house blew away, that is like, a lot of people probably up there need this product. So if you go to Asheville, I would probably be sending some people there.
Yeah.
Okay, so if y'all know somebody in that area that she just mentioned with the things that's going on, if you want to be a blessing, this is a great gift. This is the gift that keeps on giving. This is the gift of good health. Holiday times are coming up. This is a great product to, purchase and, give it as a gift. So just, food for thought, right? Because this can do nothing but build mitochondria up. So it can help a lot of people. So this is a gift that you won't go wrong with. at all.
What kind of condition do you have?
Myasthenia gravis. So muscle weakness disease, so that your neurotransmitters aren't firing properly. So therefore the muscles can't work. When we first were acquainted, after 7 years, he would have difficulty carrying on a spirited conversation without having to stop and rest. That's how bad it was. And then the next day, he was going up and down the steps in his house. He got 3 floors. And he's never done that. He's never gone from the bottom in the basement. He had to go down there and switch clothes and wash his to dry. He did it. His wife was good. He goes down and does it himself, right? And did not have to stop in the middle and catch his breath like he would have had to done any other time. So sometimes these things can be rather dramatic. I'm really interested in this one, like I said, because we haven't had any really report on that specific condition. But I'm excited to see him try it.
Yes, I got 2 of them. They had received it from their mother, I think. Great.
Okay.
And I went to the gym after I was on MoreMito, and they have this machine that tests you and see how old you are inside your body. And I was 9 years younger inside my body. So I love that.
Okay.
So I just want to give people information about that, because a lot of people want to be younger inside and outside. Thank you so much. I think I'm a little wired on coffee, so I'm starting a little speedy.
Okay. All right, Nancy.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. You're a champion. Okay. Dale Bonet, who we got left? They're all gone? I'm on the wrong page. It looks like it's just me and you, Dale. Okay. Look, I want to thank everybody whose voices you heard. We've had an amazing day today. And this is such an important call, cardiovascular condition affecting so many people. We're going to continue this topic on Monday. And don't forget about tomorrow. We're going to do that big call at 7 o'clock Eastern. It's going to be a Zoom call. You got all the details in your back office. Well, you get no last word, sir.
Okay, guys. That was awesome. So you heard him say the call is going to be, the Zoom meeting is going to be at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that means it's going to be 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. So again, if you're interested in getting on that Zoom, getting more health knowledge, then, send me a message on Health and Wealth Show, Stephanie, Success on Stephanie, Facebook, text me, 817-320-2571, and we'll make sure you get the link so that you can join us on the Zoom call. But guys, was this not awesome? Did you not learn a lot? This is why I get on these calls every Monday and every Saturday. Every Monday, 7:55 p.m. Central Standard Time, and every Saturday at 10:55 a.m. Central Standard Time. Remember, adjust it to your time zone, 608-906-0003. Again, 608-906-0003. This is one of the ways that you learn how to build your mitochondria up. Again, we're not healing people. Your body knows how to do that with the right things that you put in there, right? And building your mitochondria up is one of the things that can help your body to fix itself, right? So again, that's what we use these products for. We use the UltraMito Restore Oil. We use the UltraMito Renew Body and Mind capsules. We use the UltraMito Rejuvenate Gel. We use all of these for humans, right? Well, we also use the UltraMito Petlife. With the Petlife, as y'all heard Mr. Hill, the CEO, explain, is the Rejuvenate Gel minus the citrus, because citrus burns, right? When they take the citrus out, then because animals can't have citrus, they put the Petlife label on there. People use this in their eyes, those that don't want to use this, because this will sting when you first go in until you close it. Once the oxygen is out, then it'll stop stinging. But some people, as you heard Mr. Hill, he doesn't want any stinging, right? Or he doesn't want the stinging that you'll get with the citrus. Just like if when you're peeling an orange, I'm sure y'all experienced where it got in your eyes before and it stings. I know I have. Well, that's what, it kind of feels like when you put the Restore Oil in there. This will do a little bit more because it has everything in it, but you still get great results without the citrus oils in there, right? So, but a lot of people just use the Petlife in their eyes and just put the drops in there, right? So again, so we have, and also speaking of the pets, so the pets, you give them the Petlife, and you can use Rejuvenate Gel on them. Okay, these are the two products for the pets: the Petlife and the Rejuvenate Gel. One more time for the humans: Restore All, Rejuvenate. Restore All, Renew Body and Mind, Rejuvenate Gel, and Petlife. The bundles, the bundle that is suggested is the Renew Body and Mind bundle, because this has all three in there, right? With each bundle order that you do, you get a free Rejuvenate Gel. If you purchase it separate, you're going to pay more and you don't get anything free. So in the Renew Body and Mind bundle, which is right now is bundle number 1, you will get the Renew Body and Mind capsules. And I'll show you the capsules again if you weren't on here earlier when I showed you the capsules. They're very small. We used to have a Mind and Perform, and the capsules were larger than this. This is very small. Works great. As you heard people on there taking them, it's 60 that comes in here, and suggested that you take 2 a day. If you get these and you seem like you have just like a little too much energy or whatever, right, then your body may need to take it down just a little bit for a few days and get used to it, just for a few days, and then go back up to 2 capsules. Okay. The Restore All, Renew Body and Mind capsules and the Rejuvenate Gel comes in the Renew Body and Mind bundle number 1. This is the bundle that we suggest you get. Remember, you have to be referred by somebody. So if somebody else referred you, get back with the person that referred you. If you refer by myself or seeing, one of my shows, etc., whether it's the Health and Wealth Show with Stephanie or whether it's Success on Stephanie on YouTube, or whether it was Facebook Live, somebody referred you some of the information, then the description is in below. But I also give the website. It's moremito.com/S Alford. That's moremito.com/SALFORD. Then you will go to log in. This is how you create your free customer website. You will go to log in. Not log in. You will go to join. Sorry. Once you hit join, then you're going to hit referring customer. Then it'll ask you for your name, address, phone number, email address, choose your username and your password. Y'all, when you're choosing your username, do not use an email address, because your username is going to be moremito.com/ whatever your username is. Your website. It's going to be moremito.com/ whatever your username is. Now mine is S Alford. So mine is moremito.com/ S Alford. So, and then once you create your free website, the free customer website, it's up instantly, y'all. Then to log into your back office, you're going to go to your website. So like for me, I will go to moremito.com/ S Alford. Then I will click login. If I'm on the computer, it's going to be in the top right hand corner. If I am on the phone, I'm going to click the drop down, the menu drop down. I have videos explaining this on the Health and Wealth Show with Stephanie. If you go under the playlist, there's videos that will explain all of this to you. Okay. So once you go into your back office, this is how you order. You're going to go to Shop MoreMito. Once you click on Shop MoreMito, it's going to ask you people products or pet products. So if you're doing the people products, you can order the pet products just by going under the people products as well. But so you choose people products and you go down to the green button where it says Shop Now. Click the green button. Then you scroll down to the bundles. You want to choose the Brain and Body bundle number 1. Go down to the Brain and Body and then choose bundle number 1, which has the Renew Body and Mind capsules in it, the Restore All, and Rejuvenate Gel. Then, and if anything else that you want to order, feel free. If you're serious about whatever it is that you have going on in your body, as you heard, people are taking it 3 and 4 times a day. Some people take it even more than that because they're very serious about their ailments that's going on in their body. So understand, the more you take, the more mitochondria you build up, the more your body can fix itself. Okay. So you cannot take too much. It is not a medication. This is considered a food. So like you heard the guy asking, can you take this with medication? Yes, you can take it with medication. Don't you normally eat when you take a lot of the medication? This is considered a food, right? people ask, how long do you take it? Well, how long do you want to, how long are you going to eat? This is considered a food, okay? I was just trying to think of a couple of things that people normally ask, okay? But anyway, and then, back to ordering. So you choose what you want, and then you'll go down and it's very user friendly. How you order it, whether you're ordering from the computer, you're ordering on from the computer or on your phone, right? Once you're actually have created your website and you're actually in the system, if you have any problems ordering, then you could call myself or whoever referred you. Again, my number is 817-320-2571. Actually, you're going to text me. You're not going to call me first because of my schedules. You will text me first, and if I'm available to talk, I'll tell you, okay, yeah, we can talk. Or we'll schedule a time to talk that'll work for you and myself, right? But then you can call into customer service, and thought I had the number memorized, but I don't have the number memorized. But you have to be a customer for you call in. It's the call-in number for customer service is 509-593-3300. Again, it's 509-593-3300. It's on the bottle for each product. And guess what, y'all? I can read it off of there, right? Years ago, I could not read it off of the bottle. But as y'all heard them talking about your eyes, I am one that my eyesight has improved as well. I used to have a restriction on my driver's license saying that whenever I drive, I had to wear my glasses, right? Well, guess what? My eyesight got better, and I no longer have that restriction on my driver's license. Why did my eyesight get better? Because I took the initiative, learned about the products, and I started using the products. So I will tell you, when I first started using them, we didn't have all three of these products. We had the Rejuvenate Gel, right? And I would take the Rejuvenate Gel multiple times a day, rub it around my eyes. Do it around both eyes, right? Multiple times a day. Okay? You can never put too much on. Understand it gets off in there, and it not only helps your eyesight, but it gets in there and helps other things. That's a way you can get in your brain. Can you rub some of this, on your scalp and everything for to get in your brain? You can. You can even put the oil on you. So sometimes now I take the oil and I might put the oil on here and then put, the Rejuvenate Gel, which my Rejuvenate Gel has all mixed in there. So if y'all are wondering, y'all probably heard Mr. Hill when he was talking about mixing some of the Restore oil in the Rejuvenate Gel, right? So you will take one dose. Well, you can put in as much as you want to, okay? But what's suggested is put in one dose of the Restore oil, mix it into the Rejuvenate Gel, put the top back on it. My top fell, y'all. You put the top back on it, and you shake it up till it's mixed up, and you'll know it's all mixed up because this is kind of like a burnt orange, and the Rejuvenate Gel is like a white. So when it's mixed up, it turns it to like a burnt orange, right? And so that just makes the Rejuvenate Gel even more potent. So they're both very potent, and you get a lot of results by itself. But if you want it more potent, then you mix one dose of this. One dose of this, it could either be a teaspoon, not so full, well, it's almost full, or it's going to be 4 droppers. Let me see if I can get this right, y'all. These droppers, they have, this top line here is 1 milliliter. The top line is 1 milliliter. So the regular dose of the Restore oil is 4 milliliters. 4 milliliters, okay? So you would take 4 droppers, fill it up to this 1 milliliter line, okay? 4 droppers, fill up to this 1 milliliter line right here. It's going to be your regular dose, right? So you're going to take 4 droppers, fill to the 1 milliliter line, and put in your Rejuvenate Gel and shake it up. That's putting 1 dose in there, right? And again, you can put it on as many times as you want to. You heard them asking about, if it's okay for kids to take it. The guy shared, about his 2-year-old granddaughter, how she take it. How she's using it, and, she had fever, and how her fever went from 101.7 down to 96.7. Y'all, all my grandkids have used the product, okay? All my grandkids. My 2 youngest grandkids started using the product before they were even a month old, okay? Because I remember Casey, if you go to the Health and Wealth Show with Stephanie, and go under kids, you will see my grandkids using it. Casey was gassy when his other grandmother brought him to me. So when Nana got him, then I gave him some of the Restore Oil, and you'll see me giving it to him. You actually see me giving it to him on there, right? And that I gave it to him to help him with his gas. Well, if you go and you watch the episode where I'm talking about Carter, that was Casey I was talking about. If you go on the episode where I'm talking about Carter, I'm talking about being hyper and ADHD and all that. I did that video right after I did the other one. I just changed my outfit, y'all. So, but I did that video right after, and you'll notice that Casey is asleep just like that, right? It didn't take him much time to get to sleep at all. But that was done right after that. So they can just kind of tell you how quick it it works. My daughter, even when she came back from out of town, because my girls were going to Vegas at the time, and so my daughter called me that Monday. She was like, "Mama, I don't know what you did to Casey, but last night was some of the best sleep I had because she had him on the schedule where every 2 hours he was getting a bottle." Well, guess what? He slept a lot better once he had that Restore Oil in his system. Okay. You'll see on there, you want to talk about kids as well. You'll see my granddaughter, Cassius. Cassius has eczema. My son has eczema. And so Cassius has eczema. And so each time she would come, then one of the first things she would tell me was, "Nana, I need my cream." A lot of people call the Rejuvenate Gel a cream, right? But anyway, so she was like, "Nana, I need my cream." So normally when she comes, I bathe her up, change her clothes, and immediately put the Rejuvenate Gel on her, so that she can start having her relief. And you'll see on there, I did 3 days straight. You'll see me in the morning time after she got up. I show you when she first got there how it looked, and I, put it on her arms and her behind her legs, behind her knees. And so so I show you that when she first got there, and then the other 2 days that morning, and then I show you, before she goes to bed. So you can see the difference, how it looked when I started and how it looked, on that third day. So, and I did that so that you could see day by day what her progress was, So, but I mean, there's tons of episodes on the Health and Wealth Show with Stephanie. Go to the playlist and, enjoy the episode. Send it to people that because so many people have so many different ailments. And again, everybody has mitochondria. So this is a product that everybody needs, okay? It's not, oh, let me see who has this ailment or who has cancer, or which everybody has had cancer before. You just didn't have it to the point where it was, you had it to the point where your body was able to fight it up because your mitochondria was strong enough to fight it off, okay? But then there's several people that has had it to the level where their mitochondria wasn't stronger enough to fight it off. If you know somebody right now that has cancer, they need to rush and get some of this, right? Get the products. They need the Brain and Body Bundle #1, and really it would be best if they could get, more than one bundle and hit it hard, right? They would definitely see results, okay, by building their mitochondria strong. But again, you go to our playlist, and when you go on there, whether you're going on the Health and Wealth Show with Stephanie, which is geared towards the products, that's all that you're going to see on there. Now, Success on Stephanie, yes, do I record this on there sometimes? I do, but you will see other things on there like encouragement and everything. And make sure y'all subscribe to these channels, even on Facebook. Make sure you like and stuff like that. But please make sure you share it with other people, because we owe it to, our friends and family to give them the health knowledge, because a lot of people don't know that you can build your mitochondria up and that your body can fix itself. I had a conversation at the store with the guy, and he actually got it. Most of the time when I talk to people, they don't know your body can fix itself, but he knew about mitochondria. He knows your body can fix itself, right? He just didn't know how to build his mitochondria up. So he was like, "Oh, I'm so glad that you asked me a question." And then we ended up having this conversation. He said, "Because I'm very interested in getting my mitochondria stronger." He wore glasses and had a couple of other things going on. So, it's great when people know about it, about building your mitochondria up. But then it's even greater when people don't know about it and they actually take the time to listen. A lot of people do not listen. Now, a lot of people out there, they have so many different health issues, and They just don't believe that their body can heal itself, or maybe they don't believe that I know what I'm talking about. But even if you don't believe I know what I'm talking about, do your own research. Okay, that's what I did. I did my research, and I found out this was after praying. I prayed when I went to my neurologist. And at that time, this was in December of 2015. So as y'all can see, I've been on the products for a long time. I've been doing the TV show about it a long time, right? But I prayed because the neurologist, she shared with me that two of the medications, because y'all know I had my own pharmacy. Doctors had me on so many different pills, so it wasn't funny, okay? 18 to 20 different medications, y'all. And so she shared with me, well, she asked me, okay, how you doing? Kind of what's going on with your body or whatever. So, I shared, right? And when I shared with her that I had always been a multitasker and I could no longer multitask the way I used to, then she shared with me, because she had already reviewed my chart, right? She shared with me that two of the medications that the doctors had me on was immediately taking the migraine away, and then immediately giving it back to me, but it was causing depression. So she said, that's why I could not function the way that I was functioning. I said, so all this time I've been depressed and I didn't know it. She was like, yeah. I said, oh, she said, so you have to go through a detox, and because you're going to have to come off those two medications, but you can't just come right off them because the doctors had you on so long and they were over medicating me. Okay. So this is why y'all will hear me on some of my episodes say, give my opinion. Understand this is my opinion. Okay. This is my opinion from the experiences that I have had with doctors. Okay. I've had the experiences where they've told me certain things, like I couldn't have any more children. I had my youngest daughter is 20 something years old now, and they told me that before she was conceived. Okay, so I'm one of those that I know that God has the last say so, because God has created our bodies that it can fix itself when you give it the right food or the right nutrition, what it needs to build its mitochondria up. Okay, I am a perfect example that your body can fix itself, because again, I have my body has fixed itself from a lot of things. From, I mentioned to y'all earlier how my eyesight has gotten better. I just mentioned how doctors told me they told me I could never have any more kids, right? But I have my youngest is 20 something years old, and she came after they told me that, right? And there's other things that doctors told me, and I just, I listen, but I know that God has the last say so, but I took the initiative to do some research. I did pray after, when I was at the neurologist that day when she told me that they were over medicating me and I had to go through a detox. I prayed that day while I was at the doctor, and I said, God, can you send me something where I don't have to take all these pills? Again, y'all, being on 18 to 20 pills, that's a lot of pills. And I had been one that I never liked to take pills. And December 31st, my friend called and he actually told me about the Rejuvenate Gel, right? Because I had been in a lot of pain. He had been in pain. He had had an amputation and different things, never moved his toes, and told me he could move his toes, which I thought he was lying, okay? Again, because, I was ignorant to the fact at that time because I did not have the health knowledge, right? So I, got the health knowledge, and I know now that when you put the right things in your body, when you get your body to a certain level, like build your mitochondria up, your body can fix itself, okay? I did not know that at first, okay? So y'all, I'm admitting, I didn't know it at first. I know it now, and I am so glad that I know it now, and I enjoy helping other people to get the knowledge. Now, some people are not in the receiving mode. I met a lady a couple of weeks ago, and she actually has cancer, right? And she's like, yeah, there's nothing that can help me or whatever. And I proceeded to tell her this, there is. Oh, no, there's nothing. I said, well, ma'am, I said, that's because you haven't done the research. I said, but I'm not going to argue with you or anything. I said, I just want you to know that the reason why when you said that, I came back and say, well, yes, there is, because I know for a fact that there is, because I know these products have helped several people that had cancer, right? And regardless, because she's ignorant to the fact, meaning, and I don't mean that in a bad way. A lot of people are ignorant because of lack of knowledge, and that's what I'm meaning when I say these things, right? Well, she was ignorant because of lack of knowledge, right? Now, did I go into full details? No, because she was not in the receiving mode, so I did not waste my time on that, right? She was one of those that, oh well, when it's my time, he's going to take me. I'm fine with that and all that, and that's fine. That's her, that's her opinion. She knows what she wants to do with her body, okay? But I'm glad that I listen. I'm glad that several of, other people, that under the sound of my voice have listened, right? But just understand that these products help you build your mitochondria. This doesn't heal you. This help you build your mitochondria. Once you build your mitochondria up, again, your body knows how to heal itself because God designed it like that. But again, she was not in the receiving mode, and so I had to just be quiet. Everybody is not privileged to get the information because everybody is not receiving, and I don't like wasting my time. Okay, I do not like wasting my time. I've talked to people that have, diabetic. Y'all heard Mr. Hill when he was talking about the most mitochondria in your eye area. So when your mitochondria is not strong in your eye area, other things start to break down in your body, right? So you have people that's diabetic that get shots in their eyes and all that. We have testimonies of people that used to get shots in their eyes. They no longer get shots in their eyes. They've shared how getting those shots in their eyes, how they hurt, how it tears your eyeball some, and all of that. Guys, if you really listen, if you totally listen and do your research, get the information, you will learn. When you build your mitochondria up, then you don't have to get those shots. Because a lot of people's body, once they build their mitochondria up, they no longer needed those shots. No longer, okay? And we have testimonials on that. It's all about building your mitochondria up, okay? So all we want to do, we just want to educate people, so that they get the knowledge that they need. If you know children that are autistic, ADHD, and all that, know the doctors love to put them on a lot of medication. Let's get these kids off of this medication because medications have side effects. When I shared with y'all about what the neurologist told me about, okay, yeah, it was causing me to be depressed, being on the medication, and they were over medicating me, right? Remember, it was taking my migraine away, giving it back immediately, and causing me to be depressed. Well, when she told me I have to go through a detox, y'all, my next question to her, the first thing when she said detox, I could think about was Jamie Foxx when he played Ray Charles, right? And what Ray Charles went through, and I'm just like, I've got to go through that. And she kind of smiled and she said yes. And she said we normally put people in the hospital, for that. And I said, well, at that time I was a single mom and I did not have anybody else to get my youngest daughter to school, right? I said, so I can't go into the hospital. But see, we serve an awesome God. I didn't have to go into the hospital. Thank God that my experience was, and now understand that was my choice because this is my body and I knew my current situation, okay? I'm not telling you this is what you do, okay? But I had real bad crying spells, and they were normally over in the, late at night, over in the morning where everybody was asleep and people did not see me having those. But I did take the time and I spoke with my pastor because I was very involved in the church, in several different areas of ministry. And I did not want to be in church and, say, have something going on. Again, I'm thinking about that movie, what Ray Charles went through when he went through his detox, right? And I was like, I don't want to be sitting in church and all of a sudden, I act funny and somebody say, oh, did you see that crazy lady, right? But I stayed away from church for a while, but I did tell them what was going on. I pretty much just took my daughter to school and picked her up because I didn't want to be around people because I didn't know how my body was going to react. But again, I basically went through just having the crying spells is what I noticed at first, right? Later, maybe about a year ago, one of the nurses I was talking to, she said, well, actually, something else you missed. She said, some of those headaches that you had, you thought they were migraines because you had the history of migraines. She said, but because you were coming down off of medication, then some of those headaches were from that. So I can say now that, I had crying spells and I also had some headaches as part of my detox coming off the medication. And I was so glad to come off the medication. But what I forgot to share with you earlier, when the doctor told me I had to go through a detox, but she also shared that she had to put me on another medication before I could come off of those two. So I couldn't just come straight off of those two medications. She had to put me on something else. So I'm like, she had to add to my pharmacy. I already was on a lot of things, but she had to add another pill before I could come off of those other two. But you know what? God is just like y'all was hearing that guy when he was talking about the heart issues and blood clots and all that. You had to be on the aspirin. So I've experienced the blood clots. I had to take a low dosage aspirin every day for that. Also because of having a heart issue. So my oncologist requested that I take the low dosage aspirin because of the blood clots. And then my cardiologist for the heart suggested I take a low dose of ashes for my heart. So, I had two different doctors that had me on the low dosage medication, y'all. But again, I don't take any medications now. I only take my natural products, the MoreMito. I love it. I love it. Trust me, my family loves it because my body is better. At one time, doctors told me I'd never be able to take care of my family again. Again, don't I look like I can take care of my family? Oh yeah, I take care of my family, and I've taken care of other people, other families that are not even related to me, y'all. So, but it's just great to know that there is something out there that was able to help. And again, this is something that can help everybody. This is not, like some things can only help some people or whatever. This is something that can help everybody. So again, if you were referred by, watching one of my shows or referred by myself, then you want to go to moremito.com/S Alford. That's MoreMito.com/S Alford. If you were referred by somebody else, get back with the person that referred you. Okay. But you want to make sure you get your brain and body bundle number one. If you have other questions, let me know. If you have tried the products and you have a testimonial, we want to hear that testimonial, because those testimonials, why do we have all those testimonials out there? Because they help other people. So like I've never, well, I can't say I haven't had cancer, because we've all had cancer. My body has just been strong enough to fight it off. Thank you, Jesus. I hope it continues. But I can't personally say, oh, well, I had cancer and this and this is what I experienced. Okay. But guess what? I know other people that have had cancer. I know Sharon Maple had cancer, and Rainey Howell had cancer, and other things. So you can go under our playlist on the Health and Wealth Show with Stephanie, and you can get those, listen to those testimonies and other people that have had it. Just like diabetes. I've never had diabetes, high blood pressure, a lot of those things. I've never had it. Now high blood pressure, diabetes have run in my family, right? I personally have never had it. So I can't give you my personal testimony, but guess what? I've talked to several people. I've interviewed several people that have had it, and their experience. People that have had strokes, heart attacks. I have interviewed and if you've had a stroke, one of the testimonies I want you to go, because I did a neurological one with Miss Dina. And so if you go under neurological, it's under neurological, it's also under strokes, because she was showing all the signs of strokes, right? And when we had the conversation with her, and I went over, and at that time, this was before the Renewed Body and Mind was brought back out. It was I used these products on her, right? So she took the Restore Oil by mouth, one dose, which is 4 milliliters, right? And then I mixed some of the Restore Oil in the Rejuvenate Gel, and I rubbed her. Because she hadn't been able to raise her left arm, move her left arm for a while, right? So I started, up here, rubbing it all down, massaging it all in here, right? She said it was starting to go into this arm, so I put some, at the top of this arm. I did it anytime I'm dealing with somebody with stroke. I suggest, doing from here down, all around here and everything, because a lot of people, their speech is slurred. Even if their speech is not, put it around there. But I go from here down, right? Put it on their neck, all around the neck, the back of their neck. You can massage some in your oil, some in your hair as well, right? But and she had some instant results. You'll see her right after when we talk about how she was holding a cantaloupe, right? She had gone to the grocery store, brought her groceries in, and she told me to leave the 2 cantaloupes on the table and her frozen foods, because she wanted to change her freezer around, right? Well, she went right after I had put the product, rubbed her down, and she had taken the Restore Oil. She immediately went and she picked the cantaloupe up. Well, she picked it up with her right hand, but she put it in her left hand. And I'm watching her. I'm like, she was just not able to use it at all. Then she took the second one. She picked it up and she put it on top of it, and she walked to the refrigerator. I watched that with my own eyes, right? I watched her walk to the refrigerator, and she put that in. Then she came back to the table. I didn't say nothing that first time. I'm watching her, right? She starts to pick up the frozen foods, and she was picking up with that left hand. She's picking up their left hand. Then I said, Miss Dina, do you realize what you're doing? And then she looked and she smiled. She said, oh, I'm using this left hand. So you have to go back and you have to, you have to look at that, look at her testimonial where she shares, what happened to her. Y'all, when I tell you this is awesome, so you owe it to yourself to get your mitochondria strong by getting your product. You owe it to any family member, any friends to share the information. Even if you're not serious enough to get your health straight, share it with other people because you may not be serious. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but other people may be serious. You may not be a believer, okay? But trust me, if you do your research, you will find out building your mitochondria up. And what is mitochondria? Mitochondria is the powerhouse of your cells, right? So when you build your mitochondria up, your body can fix itself from anything. So you don't have to just take my word. Do the research. It's out there, okay? Those, if you're younger and you're taking biology, talk to your biology teacher, right? Because they teach it in biology. So, again, this great gifts for people, whether it's holidays or not. This is the gift of good health, okay? So you won't go wrong with getting this gift for people. Y'all heard how, Mr. Hill shared about how some people give this away, right? So Frank Palmisano has given, in 2024, he gave away $30,000 worth of product. Why did he do that? Because this helps people, okay? And so he was a blessing. He's been a blessing to many people. We can share our MoreMito bucks. I've sent MoreMito bucks to several people so that they can get it and stuff, But Mr. Hill, because he knew, he knows that people really need the product, he built in where you could get the MoreMito bucks. You get the MoreMito bucks by sharing the information. So with me having the Health and Wealth Show with Stephanie, there are tons of videos there. Take those videos. It doesn't matter whether you connect to me or not. Take those videos, send it to other people. Let the videos do the talking for you, right? And then just send people your website. They go to your website. They create their website from your website. That means they're attached to you, right? When they're attached to you, then guess what? Whenever they order, as long as you're a referring customer, then you'll get the MoreMito bucks. When you get the MoreMito bucks, you use those MoreMito bucks for free product, y'all. When that first happened to me, oh, I loved it. And I wasn't even, I didn't, this kind of fell in my lap, because again, I was taking this to help me out, right? I wasn't taking this for me to, get any free products, for me to get, get any money or anything. It just fell in my lap. People started asking me because they noticed that I wasn't looking like I was in pain all the time. And when they noticed that, they started asking me, well, what are you doing? And I started telling them, oh, I need some of that. I have high blood pressure. I have shoulder problems. I have diabetes, you name it. People just telling me, all their business, right? And so we just got them their free website. They went to my website, created it, or some of the older people, I had to go on there and I went to my website and created their site for them. We ordered their product under their website. And then guess what? I started getting their MoreMito bucks, and I love them because next thing you know, when I looked at my back office, I had plenty more MoreMito bucks. I didn't have to pay for my product anymore. That is a great feeling. Then as time went on, then it can add up, right? And then if you decide to switch over to be a paid representative, then that's when you can pull it out and get the cash, right? So guess what? You can make as much as you want to, because guess what? You go tell people about other things. You go tell people about Nike. You go tell people about things you get at Walmart, at Kroger's, you name it, right? But guess what? They don't pay you. But this is a company that gives you a free customer website. They teach you how to build your mitochondria up. They have the tools there. We have tons of tools. We have the calls on Mondays and Saturdays. We're having a Zoom call tomorrow. We have access to certain people. You have access to your uplines. I talk to people all the time, right? I am here for you. But I lost my train of thought, you guys. But anyway, you just have what you need. And like I said, this fell in my lap, y'all, and this has just been a blessing. And I hope that this blesses many, many others. And it doesn't make a difference where you are. As you heard, people won't hear from Ghana and everything. So we can ship wherever needs to be shipped. Okay. So the main thing is for you to do what? Number one, create your free customer website. So either get back with the person that referred you or go to moremito.com/salford, MoreMito.com/SALFORD. Mito is short for mitochondria. So the company is called More Mitochondria. But we call it MoreMito to shorten it, right? So anyway, go get your bundle, right? Again, if you have questions, I've shared several times with how you can get in touch with me. Again, 817-320-2571, text only. Do not call because a lot of people call and I'm in the middle of something else. But if you text me, then I can respond and we can schedule a time that works for you and myself. And that works for me the best. So anyway, we thank you for tuning in, whether it was the Health and Wealth Show with Stephanie, Successful Stephanie, or Facebook. And remember, forward this to others because everybody needs this.